चैनल को लाइक करें और सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आपको सभी इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट्स टाइमली मिल सके। सब्सक्राइब द चैनल नाउ। Let us start. Last time, welcome all. Last time we had seen that we have started this particular chapter. This is from class 8, chapter number 16, light. And we had seen half part of it, right? For example, let us just quickly go through like what we had seen last time and then we'll move forward for our today's session. So what we had seen last time was we had seen how light generally reflects, how we are able to see the objects, what is the reflection. Then we had seen that what happens exactly when the light is incident on some opaque object. Then we had seen that what are the laws of reflection, the basic two laws. Then we had seen what's a plane mirror, and we had also seen what is mirror exactly made up of. And then we had seen one by one like what are the properties of the mirror, plane mirror that is available at your home, at our home. So what exactly are the properties? Then we had seen what's a regular reflection, what is irregular reflection, and the properties and the examples related to regular and irregular reflection. Now in today's session, after that we had also seen multiple reflection and the formula for that, and the periscope application regarding multiple images with the angle of 45 degrees. So last time we had seen till this moment, till this particular part. From today, like today we are going to deal exclusively regarding what is refraction. So today we'll be dealing with refraction. What exactly is refraction? How is it different from reflection? That we are going to see. Now just observe this particular glass. You can just see that this glass has water inside it and it has a pencil. But you can see there is somewhat bending here, right? There is somewhat a bend here, right? We can easily observe that there is a bend here. And we want to know why this bend is created, why we cannot see a straight pencil, because pencil is obviously straight, it has not broken. Then why it appears as broken when we are, so let's say, dipping a pencil inside water, exactly, a water glass. So like how it happens. So a simple another example is through the glass slab. Suppose this is the incident ray, that means the incoming ray. So you can see here, instead of going straight away, it is changing its path. Basically it is looking like it is bending, right? The original path should be this, but it is taking this path. It appears as if the light is bending after it is changing the medium. Like initially it is traveling through air, later on it is traveling through glass. So it appears as if when the light is moving from air to glass, it bends. So one thing we have observed or we have noted in this cases, even in both the cases, that the light is coming, suppose let's say if it is coming from air to glass, that means it changes medium. When it changes medium, when light changes medium, then what happens exactly? Whenever the light changes medium, it is bending. It is bending, and that bending phenomenon is called as refraction. So we have suppose let's say a technical name for it. This particular phenomenon is called as refraction. The bending of the light when it travels from one medium to another, like from air to glass or glass to air, or any, if the medium changes and if the light bends, then we are going to say it is refraction. So you can write down an official definition for, suppose let's say, refraction. In the exam you can write this down, this definition, that is bending of light when it travels from one medium to another is called refraction. See, so simple definition. Bending of light, refraction is bending of light, and when it happens when it travels from one medium to another. So it can travel from any medium to any medium, like from example like air to glass, glass to water, or water to diamond, or diamond to kerosene, kerosene to turpentine. Any example you can take. Refraction won't happen if the medium is same. Suppose let's say the light is entering from air to air, then there is no refraction. But the refraction will definitely happen if the medium is changing. Okay? Are you understanding this? The medium, the refraction will definitely happen if the medium is changing. And mostly the medium should be transparent. Mostly the medium should be transparent. Why? Because if the material is opaque, opaque in the sense the light cannot pass through it. Suppose let's say it is really opaque, then what is going to happen? Light is not going to pass through it. We cannot have refraction. For refraction, the light should pass through it. But if the object is opaque, then the light is not going to be passed through it. It is going to be absorbed. Opaque objects absorb, right? Opaque objects absorb the light, while transparent objects, they transmit the light. So that is one of the difference you need to understand, that refraction, for refraction, what kind of medium you require? A medium which is able to be, is transparent. Only then you can have this refraction phenomenon. That is one of the logics. Another example for refraction is raised coin. Raised coin is also one of the examples. Like for example, in some water, you have dropped one coin, any coin. ठीक है, 5 rupees coin, 1 rupees coin, 2 rupees coin, whatever the coin is, if you are dropped inside water, it appears as if it is raised up. Technically, it is not raised up. It is still at the same depth you are talking about, but it appears raised up. And the reason is because of refraction only. The rays of light which are coming from the bottom of that particular vessel, or suppose let's say utensil in which you have suppose let's say place this coin, the light which is coming from that, it bends as soon as it is moving from glass to air. So this refraction happens due to again the bending part itself. So you have to understand that this refraction is going to happen if particularly the coin is placed in the particular water. So refraction happens due to bending itself. So this is bending, and due to bending, refraction is going to be, let's say this phenomenon is going to happen. Now let us move for the next phenomenon, that is dispersion. Now you must have observed, like, rainbows. You must have seen rainbows, right? Suppose. This happens after the rainfall, and that is exactly what we want to know. So in short, if I want to tell you what is dispersion, see, the light which is coming from the sun, it is white light. Okay? The original color of the sunlight is white light. So it has white color. The sunlight which is coming to us, the sunlight has white color. Right? And it is a combination of 7 different colors. It's a combination of 7 different colors. So whenever this white light passes through a prism, suppose an object like prism, what happens is that white color or that white light divides itself. It divides itself into its component colors. Into its component colors. Into its component colors. And then we get that 7 different colors, that is the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. So you have to understand that sunlight is made up of white light. It is made up of white color. It is basically white light, and white light is made up of 7 different colors. Actually there are more than that, but the original colors which we can see is only 7. Actually technically there are more than 7, like there are number of colors, but you have to, the colors which we are easily able to see or we can differentiate, those are only 7. So it is made up of 7 different colors, basically you can say. And this phenomenon of dividing white light into 7 different colors is called as dispersion. So you can see here this particular phenomenon in which the white light has, so let's say, created 7 different colors. It is called as dispersion itself, dispersion of light. So this is the perfect example, and this is what? This is prism. This is prism. So whenever white light passes through prism, it is going to get divided into 7 different colors. And this particular, all that big band, that this is a band of 7 different colors, it is called as spectrum. So spectrum is nothing but the combination of 7 different colors. So the band which you see of 7 different colors is called as spectrum. So this is what it is. The white light, it goes into the prism, and it, suppose let's say, distributes itself. It is divided into 7 different colors, and 7 different colors are created. Now see, the reasons why this happens, it is not there in your syllabus, but I can tell you in short why this happens. The reason for this is that every color has different speed. Every color has different speed. This is the first logic you should understand. Every color light has different speed. Has different speed. And each, suppose let's say, every color will be having different speed. That is, the red color will have different speed, orange color will have different speeds, all colors will have different speeds. And because of that, each color light will have different rates of refraction. Each color light will have different rates of refraction, different degree of refraction. So technically, whenever the light is passing from, suppose let's say, air to glass, it is a refraction. But every component color, because of its speed, faces different kinds of degrees of refraction. So some might have more refraction, some will have less refraction. So in this case, red light The red light, which suppose let's say it is at the top, it has more speed. It has more speed, and it has less refraction or more refraction? Less refraction. It has less refraction. And there is violet light, right? There is violet light also, that purple one. So that violet light which you are able to see, that violet light, it has less speed. It has less speed, so hence it stays more in the prism, hence it has more refraction. Hence it has more refraction. Understood? So that's why we are getting the red color first, and then orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So these are the 7 different colors we are getting. So in the examination, what you're going to write down as definition, so you can use this definition, a simple one. The process of separation of white light into its component colors, that means to the components it is made up of. So it is that white light is getting divided into its component colors while passing through a medium, and it happens only when it is passing from one medium to another. Like in our case, it was passing from air to glass. So when a light gets divided into component colors while passing through a medium, it is called as dispersion of light. So this is a very simple definition you can use in your exam. Now after this, we have to talk about more information on dispersion, like extra information. So what kind of colors we are getting? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. There is a short form from this you can remember with the help of, that is VIBGYOR. Okay? This you can use as a acronym, that is short form for remembering the colors, the sequence, because it has to be remembered sequentially. You cannot just randomly remember it, it has to be in sequence. So VIBGYOR, you can say VIBGYOR. V stands for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, and R for red. That's it. And who, suppose let's say, observed this phenomenon first? This phenomenon was observed, or this spectrum through glass prism was observed by Isaac Newton. He's a very famous scientist, so obviously you must have heard about Newton. So Newton was the first one, the first person to use glass prism to obtain sun spectrum. Sun spectrum is what? Sun's 7 different colors. That is the same colors which we have observed right now. So those 7 different colors was observed the first time by Isaac Newton. Now, which is the another example for this? The best example for this is again a rainbow. The rainbow is the best example for it. You have to understand. So I have given you a little bit information regarding dispersion, like how it happens. But do remember, this is not for your grade. It is just for extra information. For your class 8, you just need to remember what is dispersion. That is dividing of white light into 7 different colors. That's it. Nobody is going to ask you more than that. One thing that will be asked is who conducted this experiment, that is Newton. Another thing that will be asked to you is what is the sequence of the colors. So that is VIBGYOR. You can just write it down in the exam. That is more than sufficient. For refraction, if you want to know that why exactly refraction happens, is because of again the speed. It happens due to speed change. Because in glass is a denser medium. Glass is very much thick than the air. It is very dense, right? Due to that dense, speed of light decreases. Speed of light decreases. And that's why we get that bending part. Speed of light decreases. So in glass, it is very dense, speed of light will decrease, and hence we will have that refraction part. But if you're talking about air itself, air is very much rare. It's a very rarer medium, and when if it is a rarer medium, speed of light increases. Speed of light increases in this case. I hope you're understanding that what is the reason for refraction. It is only because of the different speeds in different medium. So if somebody is asking you, this is not going to be asked in your exam, but if somebody asks you like what is the basic reason for refraction, so you can just say light has different speed, light has different speeds in different medium, in different medium. This is what you're supposed to say. Light has different speeds in different mediums, and that is the reason why we have refraction. Now let us talk about the next phenomenon, that is human eye. So rainbow is also one of the same examples what we have for dispersion. This is due to dispersion itself. Okay. Now let us focus on human eye. Let us focus on human eye. And one thing you should observe of regular rainbows is that we do not get clear distinction between the colors. Every color is mixed between the two, like there is no distinction whenever you are drawing on paper. So you show clear distinctions, right? One is red, then whenever you are drawing a rainbow on your paper, you show various distinctions, right? There are markings, there are black lines, and in that you regularly feel your color, right? But in actual reality, the colors generally mix in between them, like there is a mixing of the colors and you cannot get a distinct color band. So that is what you should remember, that in rainbow, in reality, you do not get distinct bands. Distinct bands are not possible. No distinct bands, they are mixed in each other. Okay. Now let us focus on human eye. So human eye, that is the eye through which you see the world. We have to see what are its parts and what is the function of each part. That is what we want to understand. So let us go through it. So this is our eye. So let us try to understand what is what part and what is the function of it. Now human eye is basically something working like a camera. This is the first thing you should remember, that human eye basically functions like what? Like a camera. Human eye is almost spherical in shape. So you can say it is spherical, but you have to say almost spherical. It is not exactly spherical because you can see there is a bulge at this side. Spherical, that means it should be truly like a circular shape. Like it's a sphere is a 3D object, so it should be completely circular. But you can see it is not circular. It has some bulge, right? It has some bulge in front of it. So you have to understand that it is almost spherical, not completely spherical, but almost spherical in shape with a slight bulge in front. So you can see this is the bulge you are talking about. This is the bulge. Okay. Now let us talk about sclera. Okay, where exactly this is present and what is the function of it. So this is sclera. This is the outer part which you are talking about. So sclera is the outer part. You can see the blue part. Okay. Now, if that is the case, if this is the sclera, right? We just want to know what is the function of it. So, chalo, let us understand what is the function of it. So, outer tough layer of eye and whitish opaque sheet. It's the outer tough layer of the eye. So basically it is the outer layer and it is very tough. Basically it is acting as a support, let's say a supporting wall for eyeball. So this is your eyeball, that means your complete eye, and it acts as a supporting wall. So sclera is nothing but the outside tough layer. It is whitish opaque sheet, and basically the main function of this is to support eyeball. So it basically supports the eyeball. Second thing what we have is cornea. Okay, the second thing what we have is cornea. So this is the one cornea we're talking about. Now in cornea, it is the front part of the eye. Front part of the eye. The rest of the blue part which you are able to see, that is hidden in, so let's say, in our eyes. But this part cornea is actually exposed part. It is available in front of your eyes. So that is the exposed part of your eyeball. Okay, so this is exposed part of the eyeball. Light rays are incident on cornea and get refracted. So basically, what is the function of this? Light rays comes on this particular cornea and there is refraction through this cornea. So basically, the function of this is that it acts like a window. So cornea is nothing but basically it is just a window through which the lights are coming into our eyes. Basically functions like a window. Right, that controls and focuses the entry of light in the eye. So basic function of cornea is acting as like a window. Now let us talk about iris. What exactly is the function of iris? So this is iris you're talking about. Let us just see. So iris is a flat and ring shaped membrane. Okay, so it's a ring shape, and moreover it is exactly what? It is exactly something like let's say it's behind the cornea. So it is present behind the cornea. Cornea is present in front. It is present at the back, and with basically it is opening into the center called a pupil. So what exactly it is? So let's say the main function of this is that it is basically an opening in the center that is called as pupil. So it basically gives entry to the pupil. So this structure provides that an individual with eye color main, suppose let's say the colored part which you can see in your eyes, that is basically iris. So let me just tell you this about, suppose let's say these eye in a very particular way. See, this colored part which you are able to see around it, that brown part, that is called as, basically that is nothing but your iris. So I hope you are understanding what is iris. Iris is basically the colored part of your eye, and the colored part of the which helps the regulate amount of light entering into the eye. What is the function of this? It regulates the amount of light entering into the eye. So if more light is coming, it is going to decrease the amount of light which is going inside our eye, and if less, suppose let us say amount of light is coming, suppose let's say it's a dark room, then it is going to allow more light to pass through our eyes. So basically it is going to regulate, or it is going to regulate what? The entry of light rays into our eyes. So that is the main function of iris. Now let us talk about pupil. Pupil is present exactly where? Pupil, the front part. Pupil is the opening within the iris with which the light passes before reaching the lens and being focused onto the retina. So that is the colored part, and at the center there is a black part. So that is the one that is called as pupil. So pupil is nothing but the let's say the central part of your iris, and pupil together with iris, they generally control the light which is coming inside the eye. So basically pupil works with iris and regulates the flow of light inside your eyes. So that is the basic function. Now let us talk about eye lens. So this is the lens we are talking about, this one. Okay, so the light enters through the pupil, enter our eyes and falls on a jelly like transparent material called eye lens. Eye lens is nothing but what is the basic so let's say the part? It is a jelly like transparent material. It is not suppose something like a very hard substance. It's a jelly like substance, so that means it is flexible. In short, the jelly like material, it means it is flexible. Okay, so it can, suppose let's say it can stretch sideways also, and suppose let us say matlab like both longitudinally and latitudinally, like longitudinal wise and latitudinal wise, through both the levels it can extend itself. It is very flexible. Function: helps to focus the light rays onto the back of the eye, that is retina. So basically what is the function of the lens? It focuses all the light rays which are coming towards the retina. This retina. Retina means what? This is the part we are talking about. This is the retina, that yellowish part. That retina is nothing but the screen of your eye on which the image is going to be created. So eye lens, the function of eye lens is to focus the light rays which are coming, and those light rays will be hitting that particular part of the retina, and then we'll be able to see the image. Now let us talk about retina. We have already talked about retina. Basically it is the screen of the eye on which the image is going to be created. But how it is able to so let's say make that image is because it is made up of light sensitive cells. What kind of cells are present in retina? Those are light sensitive cells. What is the meaning of this? It means that those cells are, suppose let's say they give stimulus, or they are very much sensitive towards light. Basically they are light detecting cells. So you can say retina has cells which are able to detect light. Okay, what are the types of those cells which are present inside it? You have two types. One is called as rod cones and another one is called as cone cells. So rod cells and another one is cone cells. So basically you have two types of cells, that is rod cells, and another what we have is cone cells. So are you understanding this? That retina is made up of lot of cells, light sensitive cells, and light sensitive cells are divided into two, that is rod cells and cone cells. Okay. Now rod cells, see, this is not in your book, but I will just give you a basic functionality. Rod cells are for light intensity. What is the function of rod cells? For detecting lights, so let's say sensation, or let's say light intensity, you can say. Okay. For detecting light intensity, rod cells are used. And what about cone cells? Now, cone cells are for color. Okay. It detects color basically. Color of the objects. That is, so let's say we are able to detect color of any object due to cone cells which are present in our eyes. So that is something which is there, but you don't need to memorize because that is not in your syllabus, but that is just extra information what you have. So retina is very simple. The function is it has those cells, suppose let's say light sensitive cells which can detect light. And what is the function of them? It converts light energy to electrical energy. So basically it converts that light rays, that light energy into electrical energy. Why we are converting this into electrical energy? Because then we are going to pass the same electrical signals towards the brain through optic nerve. So you can see optic nerve here. Through this we are going to pass all that we are seeing, that information, towards the brain. So our retina cells are going to detect everything from the light, and then we are going to send it to the brain itself. Now the next part what we have is ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles, let me just show you ciliary muscles. Okay, so let me show you those ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles are present here. Ciliary muscles are present here, like at the top side. So what is the function of them? The function is very simple. The eye lens is held in the position by a pair of muscles called ciliary muscles. So the main function of ciliary muscles is to hold lens in its place. So basically they are holding lens in its place, hold lens in its place. So simple function, right? Okay, and basically they are going to relax and let's say flatten the lens to adjust the vision of nearby and far away objects accordingly. But it has a more function. Like you might think that it has no function, it is just to hold the lens. It's not like that. It is going to stretch. I told you that that lens has flexible capacity. It can extend latitudinally and longitudinally. So that extension what you have can be done with the help of only these muscles. So we are able to stretch our lens with the help of ciliary muscles. So basically we are able to stretch or contract our lens with the help of these ciliary muscles. Okay, now let us talk about blind spot. Let us talk about blind spot. What exactly is blind spot? So blind spot is present here. Blind spot is present here. Now why it is present? It is because our retina generally is the whole screen. So wherever the light ray falls, we can get those images towards the brain. But problem is that there is one spot through where our optical nerve is connected to the eye. Optical nerve is nothing but the nerve which is connecting eye towards the brain. So optical nerve is connecting eye and brain. Okay, this is the main point. And problem is that it is wherever it is connected to the eye, to that retina, there is no retina present there. That means the screen part of the retina, and that is the reason that we are not able to detect anything at this particular point. So you must have observed sometimes that there is some, if you are observing some sun, maybe you are entering into the sunlight, or maybe you are going somewhere, you must have observed that sometimes a black spot appears in front of your eyes. Black spot, right? That black spot is nothing but due to blind spot, because whatever you are observing, that is falling on what exactly? Your blind spot. That is the part through which it is connected towards the brain, that is optical nerve, and hence you are not able to detect anything at that place. So what appears is nothing but a black circle. What appears is nothing but a black circle. So you have to understand this, that black spot is due to what? It appears because that part is not present. We are not able to detect light on that particular place because there are no cells present, light sensitive cells of the retina there. So I have already shown you this one. That is the problem. So that is called as blind spot. Now let us talk about pupil reaction. Let us talk about pupil reactions. What exactly it is? So pupil reaction is what exactly? Pupil reaction for different intensities. So what happens is that pupil, the suppose size of it can increase or decrease. That is the first point you should understand, that the size of the pupil can increase or decrease depending on what kind of light you are facing. For example, if you face, suppose let's say a very dark light. For example, you enter inside a dark room and the light which is present is dim light basically. So the light is very dim there. So what happens is that due to that dim light, your pupil increases the size so that lot of rays will come inside. It increases its size, the pupil will increase the size so that lot of rays will come inside, and then you will be able to see the object clearly. So the size of the pupil, it increases. Are you understanding this? Okay, so basically your pupil, what happens? Pupil dilates. So what you are supposed to say is pupil either expands, you can say, or either it dilates, you can say. Dilates can be one of the, suppose let's say the basic thing you can say about this. Okay, so you can see here that the pupil has increased in size. What is the reason? Because you have entered a room which is having no light or dim light, and because of that the size of the pupil has increased so that lot of rays will come inside, and then you will be able to see clearly. So during such moment you can say your pupil has expanded or it has dilated. So the pupil has either dilated or you can say it is expanded. But what happens if you enter in a room which is very bright, or you go outside your home? So lot of light rays are coming, and what your eye decides is, your eye decides to protect. Suppose, let's say your pupil decides to protect your eye, and during that moment it reduces the size of the pupil. It reduces the size of the pupil. You can see the size is so small here, right? This pupil. And why it happens? Because our pupil has decided to save our eye, so that, because anyway lot of light rays are coming up, so we just need few of them to understand the surrounding, so we just require few of them. So our eye, it contracts, our pupil will contract, so that only few rays will enter inside our eyes, and our eye will be protected, and also we will get information about the surrounding. So you just have to understand, the pupil expands when there is dim light, and your pupil contracts if there is bright light. Okay. Now let us talk about persistence of vision. What exactly is persistence of vision and all those things? But yes. Okay. We are supposed to actually start with persistence of vision, but we will revise this in the upcoming session. Like, go through this video again, understand the topic again, and in the next time we will go through persistence of vision, and we will also see defects of eyes. For that, so that's it for today, and we'll be continuing with our session in the upcoming period. So thank you so much. Bye bye.